Okay, so I'm going to actually try and upload a video on Monday. So here is my review of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So before I actually get to the review, my thoughts on the series. Overall, I enjoyed Call of Duty. I don't think it's the same game every year. Sorry, I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I think for the most part they're well enough paced and deliver a good enough game experience to keep me going for a year until the next one releases. I don't think they're the death of gaming, unlike certain people. However, uh, I think we'll go from COD 4 because those are all the new generation CODs. COD 4, one of the best of the series. Modern Warfare 2, also one of the best of the series. World at War, I think, is an underrated, great game. Black Ops, I think, is very close to being great. MW3, I think, is awful. I think it's the worst Call of Duty by far. Black Ops 2 I enjoyed, but it does have some flaws. And then I think that leaves only Ghosts, which I thought was very mediocre and probably the second worst of the latest CODs behind MW3. It wasn't bad, I just thought it was very mediocre and very going through the motions for Call of Duty. However, this year I was pleasantly surprised by Advanced Warfare. I think it's best Call of Duty. I would say since Black Ops 2. However, I think it may be better than Black Ops 2. I don't know. I've only played it through once, so this is just a review of the campaign. Sorry. Yeah, I know lots of people probably want me to talk about the multiplayer as it's Call of Duty. However, not played it yet. So here's just my review of the campaign mode. Also, spoilers. Sorry, but what this game constitutes a spoiler and what is actually a spoiler, I don't know, really. There's a difference. I think you can call the spoiler I'm going to talk about from the trailers. However, you may want to be like, oh, you ruined the whole game for me. But, anyway, so I think the graphics, actually, they're the best they've been in a while. They're probably the best Call of Duty graphics in general. But yeah, the game looks very good. It runs very well on PS4, and yeah, for once, it looks like it's got a graphical overhaul and is one of the better looking PS4 games out at the moment. The setting I think is really good. It's kind of Black Ops 2, but taken a bit further even then in the futurism aspect, and I really like that. Then, yeah, it's I don't know. It just adds some interesting mechanics and weapons and vehicles to the game that we wouldn't get to see otherwise, and it's kind of a plausible future. Some of it I'm like, not sure if that would exist, like the mute charge, but you know what? A lot of it I could see existing by 2060, and yeah, I actually really like some of the guns. Like there's a laser gun. The shotgun's basically the thunder gun, but slightly less powerful. Um, it's also slightly less linear than recent Call of Duties. It's still very linear. Don't get me wrong, but it's just got that slight less directed feel. It is still very directed. Like it's go down here, then here, then here, but I don't know. It's not as open as the earlier ones, like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops or COD 4 is probably the most open. But yeah, it's. I didn't feel like I was just walking down a corridor really for the most part. The characters I also found quite memorable, more or less. They're not like the greatest characters for the most part. I'm not going to claim that, but they were entertaining. They served the purpose of the game, and I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh Jesus, it's this guy again." Um, Although I found the Russian accent on the woman, I don't think that worked. That sounded very put on. I don't know if it actually was, but that's just how it sounded. Um, on the subject of characters, Kevin Spacey, he really makes the game. He number one, unlike certain games they've released this year, there's a reason for him being here. He is a part of the game and really contributes something to it. Like he makes it much more entertaining. If they'd cast someone else as the villain, probably would have been quite dull. It certainly wouldn't have been as good as Black Ops 2. He really brought something to the role. He was acting very well because he's Kevin Spacey, but he wasn't treating it like an Oscar role. He was having fun with it, and that really helped the game. And because he's so entertaining as this character of Irons, it's no wonder they made all the loads of audio logs and stuff of him. In fact, I wanted to see more of him, which is always good. The exosuits are really fun. They add a nice little dynamic to the standard COD formula. They let you double jump basically, and you like thunder punch people. It's just really fun to have them. And yeah, I didn't use all the gadgets for all of them, but yeah, it was mainly the double jump, and I feel that really made the game a lot more entertaining, as it gave it a nice verticality that's been missing from games recently. The set pieces in the game are also still very cool because it's Call of Duty. They like big explosions, but they're scaled back slightly from last year, where it was like cities being demolished, but they were still quite whoa. That's cool. It's nice to see a Call of Duty have a bit of restraint. Very good motion capture work. It of course is still in the uncanny valley, but for the most part, I think the motion capture cutscenes look really good, and it's nice to see Call of Duty finally move beyond the standard Google Maps overview, and move into a more of a story. And I feel in a couple of COD's time, maybe we'll actually get a really great personal soldier story, because they seem to be testing the waters with this, seeing how the motion capture cutscenes go over and stuff. And I'm really looking forward to the Call of Duty that really makes you feel for these soldiers more. Also, it has a very global feel, and I can't tell you how great that is to have back in Call of Duty. I love, part of the reason I love Modern Warfare 2 is because it's a globe-trotting adventure. You go into all sorts of different locales, different environments, and yeah, that really makes it feel different than just I'm fighting in a street again. Also, the gadgets they introduced for the future, they're less wasteful than normally. It feels like they don't give you as many gadgets that you use once and then they disappear. There are a couple, obviously, but yeah, a lot of the cooler ones you do get to use repeatedly, and that's nice. So that's all the positives. Onto the negatives. It has the same damn defend the carrier mission that's been in the past 3 Call of Duties now, maybe even 4. But I'm sick of this mission being in every Call of Duty now. It's where the carrier's under attack, its defences are down, the enemies are airdropping in, and you have to go and get the defences up online. Every Call of Duty, every single one now, it has this mission, and I'm sick of it. Can we please have a different mission, please? Like, you're not going to top fighting on the Obama with that insane ad, what the hell, that with him in Black Ops 2, but you're really not going to top it. So Ghosts was just, I've played this before, and it really, that was the point the campaign turned and got slightly less entertaining, because I was like, I've done this over and over again. So the twist I mentioned earlier, it's so predictable. Spoiler alert, Irons is the villain. Really, you didn't give that away. I didn't get where they were going with that, where it's like, whoa, what? It was weird. And you know what, it would have been nice and ballsy to see Call of Duty actually keep a character as the PMC. You know, cast you as the villain again. Kind of like MW2 did at some points. That would be interesting, and you could still have your American soldier defending the peace, but you could also have a PMC. I get they won't do that because that'd involve killing US troopers, but I don't know, it felt like they were holding back, and it ended up feeling very generic. Oh, it's like the PMC that they do in every Call of Duty, or every Call of Duty, in every video game now. It's like, we need a generic enemy, make them PMCs. Although we have fought American enemies before. I mean, Shadow Company were the Shepherd's elite unit. We got to fight and kill them, couldn't we? Do that. My door just shut for no reason and scared the hell out of me. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, we fought Shadow Company, and couldn't we do that again? I fight. They're far enough removed, possibly. Well, I don't know. It is difficult to do, but I would like to see Call of Duty attempt it at least. Also, some elements were less thematically resonant because this game and all the Call of Duties aren't really in a universe. Sometimes it feels much more repetitive than it could otherwise. Because if you actually look at the Call of Duties, they kind of subtly implicate, in a way, this needs more explanation. I want to do a video on this at some point. You kind of see America rise in power, and they fall in ghosts, and you kind of get the feeling maybe they're slightly not the villain, but they're not completely morally just, as the games would suggest individually. But of course, this doesn't do that, so it doesn't really work. And like, when he's talking about all these things America's failed to do. Thank you, motorcycle. Yeah, when he's talking about all of America's failures over the years, it would have been cool to kind of reference how about us going into the Middle East and getting nuked in COD 4 and stuff like that. We got invaded by Russia, and then the Federation of Americas. It'd be nice. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I kind of want to do a video on that at some point. Sorry. But yeah, also... sorry. There's one point where... wow, this is an unprofessional video, but... with the gas virus used in this Manticore, it's kind of similar to Nova 6 if it was made into a virus rather than a gas. And at one point you pass all these people in cages, very similar to how you saw the, in the Nova... no, the Rebuffs facility where they were manufacturing Nova. It was very reminiscent of that, and that would have been kind of cool if it linked to that somehow. It doesn't, so that's kind of disappointing. Also, some levels are slightly too restrictive with the exos on. It's a shame to give us these and then take them away, but I can see why, but it just does sometimes feel like, oh, this is disappointing. I can't double jump everywhere. But yeah, of course that is kind of outweighed by the core missions where you do get them, like with a grappling hook. It makes an interesting stealth mission. Also, the jet mission in this doesn't work. It feels far too linear, and I don't know, I was just kind of missing the spectacle I'm used to in Call of Duty. It really did feel on rails, and I'm vehemently against calling these rail shooters without rails, because if they don't have rails, then they're not a rail shooter. But, yeah, that is one of the times where I'm like, this feels like a rail shooter. The sequel bait also doesn't really work. It's My Legacy will be continued. By who? We don't... Sure, it's an ideal, but we don't see anyone else take up the ideal, so the ending just feels sequel baitish, but it doesn't make sense. So that was weird. Also, weirdly, with the scaled back set pieces, sometimes it makes it hard to feel for certain plot devices. Like when this virus Manticore is released, it's meant to be, oh my god, this is horrible, but it doesn't feel that way because we only see one guy die. We don't see the US Army getting wiped out by it, so that didn't really work. So that was strange, and like when he's like, how dare he do this to America, it's like, yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know, maybe I'm just desensitized seeing the Golden Gate Bridge blown up over and over again. I wasn't really like, oh my gosh, how could they do that, as compared with if they'd done something else. Also, the intel, I don't get what it is, because what's labelled as intel in the menu is the audio diaries that you get after completing missions. But intel is also something you find, so it's just a collectible that serves no purpose, because it doesn't unlock the actual intel that you want to see. So that was weird. And finally, I'm really annoyed that the character only speaks in cutscenes. That really annoyed me. I hate that, where he can speak in cutscenes but not in first person. I mean, we've had Mason do it in Black Ops, and that was years ago now. That was like 2010. What the hell? No, 20, maybe 20, yeah, 2010, I think. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Advanced Warfare. Overall, I would recommend this, actually, if you're a Call of Duty fan. Obviously, if you hate Call of Duty, this isn't going to change your mind, but if you're a fan, or even kind of a fan, I would recommend at least giving it a try. It's not going to revolutionise the series for you, but it's entertaining enough, and it's nice to see it change after, or turn in the right direction after Ghosts. And I'm really hyped for next year's, because next year's being developed by Treyarch, and I really can't wait for that. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to review next week. At some point, I want to talk about the Ultimate Universe possibly getting deleted and my thoughts on that, but I don't know when I'll finally get around to doing that. So I hope you enjoyed this video.